Hi, this is Wayne Wagner with Visionary Wealth Management. Today I want to talk about stock options. If you're an executive in the pharmaceutical industry or within many other industries for that matter, you receive a portion of your compensation through stock options. And there are two very, very different kinds of stock options that you can be awarded. In fact, many companies provide some of your stock options in one form and some in another. The treatment and strategy around each is very important to how you plan and managing and minimizing legally your tax liability. So the first one we'll talk about is the most common, and that is non-qualified stock options. Non-qualified stock options act just like a traditional option where you have a strike price. So let's say the strike price, you're given the option to buy a stock at $10 a share. Well, now the company's stock is at $30 a share, and so when you exercise your stock option at 10, effectively what you're doing is exercising the strike price of $10 a share, and then the difference between $10 a share and the $30 a share current price, or $20, is profit in your pocket. Now, here's the big challenge from a tax perspective. That $20 is now income tax to you. There are very few strategy options that can be applied to change that. You can't change it into a capital gain. You can't defer it. That you can't stretch it out over time. There are a few things from a strategic perspective that can be done to help manage the cost or the tax liability associated with the exercise of non-qualified stock options. But in terms of the exercise and the value associated with the stock option itself, it's all income tax, baby. So if you're any managing or strategy that you're going to do, you have to do in other areas of the tax return that year, not directly related to the non-qualified stock options. The second kind of option is where there's a huge planning opportunity and frankly some huge challenges that can present themselves when you're trying to plan around this. These are incentive stock options, often called ISOs or ISOs. So if you have ISOs, you have a unique strategy or planning opportunity around those options, because you have the right not to just cashless exercise like you do with a non-qualified stock option. You actually have the right to exercise the option and buy the stock. Now, here's the challenge. The challenge is if you have 1,000 options and the strike price is $10 a share, that means you have to put up $10,000 in cash to exercise those options. Now, there's a reason to do this, because strategically, if you exercise the option, buy the stock, and then hold it for the required period of time that the IRS requires for that option to, or that asset to be taxed as long-term capital gains, then there is a strategic planning opportunity for you to basically take what would be an income tax liability and turn it into a long-term capital gains tax liability. Historically, capital gains, especially long-term capital gains, have been taxed more favorably than the higher income tax brackets. And so there's a planning strategy there. Now, the challenge then is if you have 100,000 ISO stock options and the strike price is $10 a share, 100,000 times 10, yeah, you have to come up with $1 million to buy that stock. And for many of our clients, that's challenging. And so we work with clients to manage the stock option equity as a part of their overall portfolio. And we work directly with executives who have ISO stock options to plan often years in advance for how we're going to find the capital to strategically convert that income tax liability into a long-term capital gain tax liability. So there's strategic planning opportunities when it comes to incentive stock options that simply don't exist in the non-qualified stock option world. It's very important to understand each of them. Here at Visionary Wealth Management, we're always here with perspective for the decisions ahead. If this is helpful for you, please feel free to pass it on to others who may benefit. And if we can ever help with a no obligation consultation, please feel free to reach out. I hope you're having a great day.